got mail.
Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next hour or so, along with Nick.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
Good morning, and I refuse to be in 9 o'clock time zone. I'm in the 8 o'clock time zone. So address me accordingly.
Okay, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
And Katie's here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Our number is 919-518-9773, and today's show is made possible. Did I say 919? It's not 919.
You did say 919.
Yeah, it's actually 561-518-9773. And today's show is made possible by VMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Gal is helping his son Shai move from Fayetteville to Raleigh as he got a new job locally.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
he's not, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I still need to do something, but I mean, I got the old number, the 919 call-in number, but it's hosted over at Anvio, and I can't figure out how to use some of the apps that they told me to use.
Come on, Amnon.
Well,
Simple.
I mean, I don't think about it, and then I sit here Sunday morning and I say, oh, shoot.
Call me during the week. We'll get it set up. Take 15
Well,
minutes.
see, that's the thing is during the week I don't think about it. It's fine. You
Okay,
got
well
enough,
then
you
I
got
will.
enough to do.
That's fine. That's fine. I will bother you during the week, and we will set it up then.
All right. So, what's been happening? I know you've been hopping, Nick.
Yeah, it was a busy week in North Carolina. For those that don't follow the political sphere, it was primary week. So busy news coverage. From
Set
a
a
technical
Set a
Spence.
record. Set a record, right? Yeah.
Yeah. From a technical standpoint, from all accounts, all of the technology related to voting, check-in, ballot tabulators, all that stuff seemed to work, which is good. It's amazing. Here for those not familiar with the process in North Carolina, we obviously have a state board of election. But then it's actually every county that has their own board of election that is actually responsible for administering the election. So you're talking about, and especially in some of these larger counties like Wake, where there's like 400 precincts, aka voting locations. It is remarkable that it all goes off relatively without a hitch. When you've got literally thousands of laptops and scanners and tabulators and all this other technology that all just manages to work. It's pretty remarkable.
Huh?
I did see a glitch when I voted in the primary. I walked up to the people that gives you your ballot or the checks you in, and I handed my license to the guy. He scrutinized my license, and the person next to me never offered it, and the guy never asked for it.
Oh, well, that is.
I was going to say something. I'm thinking
you
no,
should
it's
have
not
actually,
worth-
because
it's not worth it.
you should have, because there are what are called poll observers and precinct officials that are partisan. They are appointed. One is appointed by the Republican Party, the other is appointed by the Democrat. Absolutely, you should say something.
Yeah, I should have.
And that's across the board. If there's something fishy going on, I mean, it is a process that is meant to have transparency and scrutiny.
Interesting. So what else been happening, guys?
I had a fight with an old printer.
How old?
Let's see. I was trying to figure that out. I think it's like 2006.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Brother, wireless duplex.
2006, and it's wireless?
Let me think back. I don't remember. It's
Which
old.
model is it? Do you know?
It's
Do you remember?
HL 5370 DW.
HL
I don't remember what the date is.
I got it.
What do you
I'm looking
say?
at it.
HL
Oh, yeah,
what?
the 5370.
Oh.
These were the these printers. I remember these were popular in school. I remember seeing these throughout middle and high school. These were the printer of choice.
I got this because Nortel had a work from home program where they would actually set up an office for you in your house.
Mhm.
Furniture, they pay for at the time it was ISDN.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at you, cutting edge of the
Yeah.
internet at the time. Yeah,
At the
that's
time.
awesome.
And one would be used as your phone line when you had a call come in, but you'd bind the two channels together to give you whatever it was,
256.
128.
No, 128. That's right.
128 total. But this was a great printer. It was a business class printer, and it has worked flawlessly all these years until recently when I could no longer connect with the Wi-Fi because my new router, I'd have to have turned on compatibility back to like 802.11b or something
Sure.
like that to get it to work. So I said it's not worth it. So I plugged in the Ethernet, and I've been using an Ethernet now for years.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, I'm downstairs, I'm trying to printer offline. I come upstairs, I'm looking. The light is on. No, I shouldn't say the Ethernet light was not on. There's another LED just above it on the back. It's got the communications board where you've got parallel USB and Ethernet and wireless Ethernet. And so there's another light flashing. What is that? I'm cycle it on and off, cycle it on and off. No connection with Ethernet. The only way I could get the printer to work was USB. And I'm thinking, I don't want to have a print server. I want to use the printer. So I'm going back and forth. I go to Brother. I find old software. I take an older laptop and load all the Brother utilities on it. I update the firmware. I get it to work on parallel, but that's it. And I'm thinking, I'm looking through and I go on Reddit and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then finally I find what the procedure is to do a factory reset. And it's only got two buttons on it. It's got a start button and another button. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, it's like go and cancel
Yeah.
on those old
Yeah,
brothers.
exactly. And it says hold down. There was a sequence that you press the buttons and you hold it down till all the LEDs come on. And then it will do a factory reset. Oh, yeah, you had to press the go button 10 times in a row to get it to go. And there was one that was six. Six was to clear the network, and then 10 was to completely factory reset it. It worked. Now the Ethernet's working again.
Interesting.
What happened? Sorry.
I want to push back on something you said about not wanting to run a print server. Have you used cups before recently?
No, but
it's so freaking simple. And you get compatibility that you won't have right now. For example, like AirPrint, which you don't have, which I don't think
that would be good.
Yeah, so that is I don't use it anymore. Because I got a new printer that has that stuff built in, but I had a network attached printer, an old Brother HL212 duplex black and white single page printer, and it did not have any AirPrint functionality or anything. So I set up cups on a Raspberry Pi originally, plugged it in, you just literally browse to the IP address of the cup server. Load the driver on via a zip, and it just works.
I should do that.
It is amazing.
I was browsing through Amazon at print servers. They're expensive. What happened?
Do you have is there a computer nearby this printer?
Oh
that's
yeah,
always
but I have a Raspberry Pi that I'm going to start to play with.
Install install the Raspberry, their OS, the most lightweight one, and install cups. You don't configure cups on the device. You can configure it via browser somewhere else. And I think you'll be very happy with the AirPrint's game changing. It's really nice.
To their credit, Brother does have an IP print.
Okay.
That works. You can either print an image or you can print a web page. and it'll work with PDF files. It'll work with JPEGs. It's just a little squirrely, but it's an app you put on your iPhone or your iPad, and it works. It's a way. It's a workaround. It's not as good as AirPrint, obviously. I can't do it with my. I wish there was an app for my Dell color laser. That would be a good use for cups.
Oh, and here's the cool thing with cups: you can plug in multiple USB. If these printers are near each other, you can plug in multiple USB devices, and it will serve multiple network attached printers. And I don't know what the limit is; it's probably hundreds that it can do. Um, and I swear to God, Spence, anytime I've ever had an issue with it, I had to relearn how to use it because it set it up and it would run for 3 years without a problem, and then
Yeah.
something would break,
Something
and
would
I'd be
go
like,
wrong.
I don't know where the IP address is. I don't remember what my username and password are because I've just never touched it. It just always worked. So, yeah, something to investigate.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I mentioned it last week or not, but another Windows update that just crashed
Oh.
Outlook. And I haven't heard back from the person that was asking me for help.
Hmm.
But I showed him how to back off the update.
Well.
And I heard that the
Hmm.
Google built alternative that they were going to come up with. What was it called? Rainbow or something like
Don't
that?
remember. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but they've delayed it for 2 years. They were gonna have it out this year, and it's delayed.
It is not. I'm curious how much longer email clients will. I mean, obviously, Outlook will probably be the last one to fall. But I mean, it is an antiquated technology at this point.
Yep.
And I like using one, and I do use one, but it's hard to beat, especially when you use the web versions of Gmail and even Office.com and Outlook. Unless you've got something really specific that you need to do, it is a hard. It would be hard to convince somebody, oh, the only way you can use email is through Outlook or some sort of physical client.
And then there's the confusion between Outlook Classic and Outlook 365,
Yep.
and they're very different.
Very.
And I was a big Outlook user. When I was in corporate world. We had server limitations. You could not leave more than a certain amount of mail on your server. So I was an Outlook specialist. I knew how to set up folders and to create PSTs and I would do archives, 6-month archives, and I'd save it locally. And I helped other people do this because it was just, oh, I ran out of space. I don't know what to do. And so I was good at it. And I did like Outlook for business, for organizing stuff.
I know we're poo-pooing on Microsoft, but this week it was brought to my attention, and I'm guessing it's new because I haven't heard about it. Microsoft released AI 3D modeling and texturing.
Oh.
I don't know what you want to call it. Program software. It's called Trellis, and
Carlos.
it got brought on. It was advertised on my TikTok where like people were using it, and it looks amazing. Um, the I've used
Katie, can you explain before you go into? Can you explain what the purpose of a 3D modeler and texture software would be?
yeah, so well, the biggest thing is the entertainment industry. So like all of these movies that are out, they're 3D modeled stuff, like all the vis effects. And if you go and watch like Pacific Rim, all those robots were generated by the computer. In that somebody has to sit down and they have to model it, kind of like old time sculpting, like with clay. They had to sculpt those models in 3D. Like I said, similar to sculpting clay, and it takes forever. And it it's very technical heavy and very complicated and time consuming because they have to watch out for the typology. So when you make a 3D model, it has a bunch of faces on it and or like planes and like vertices and points and the higher those numbers are, the more processing power it takes for the computer to render that out. So if you've played video games, It's very crucial in video games that the 3D models be optimized because it's rendering in real time. Like you move your character and you don't want any lag or else you're just going to get frustrated. It's the same in movies where the higher and less optimized, the longer it's going to take to render out the scene or the character, whatever it is. So, as far as the pipeline goes, there was each part of the 3D process had a dedicated person that did that job. So there was one person that designed the character, there was another person that modeled it, and then once they were done with the model, like making the character, they would send it off to a texture artist, and the texture artist would basically color it, and add shaders to it, and it's like this whole thing, and it's a lot of work. Like if it's similar if you're building a house, you need to put up the frames, you need to put up the walls, and then somebody comes in and paints it, right? Now imagine that, but instead of a house, but with like a million walls instead. Um, so it's a time-consuming, expensive process, and that's why it takes like 3 years to make a movie nowadays. So there has been software, AI software, that can take an image and kind of model it. Like it looks at it and it's like, okay, this looks like it's X, Y, and Z. It's going this far in the background, and it probably looks like this color. And I've used those in the past, but they're never been really good. Like they kind of fake it. So when you send them the image of something you want it to model, it will kind of like it could tell what the depth is, and so it'll make it kind of look like 3D, but then they put the image on top of it as like the texture, and so when you're looking at it, it's like, oh, this looks like a 3D thing, but then as soon as you turn it sideways, it's like flat with a bump, and you're like, okay, so it's not true 3D. um and then I've played with Bamboo has come out, I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago. Bamboo is the 3D printing company that my 3D printers are from. They've come out with an AI 3D modeler thing where you give it a model and or give it an image and it creates a 3D model and then you can print it. And I've used that a couple times and that's been really great. Uh, but it you have to pay. So there's like I'm sure the Microsoft thing you have to pay too, but I was too afraid to use it because I was like, I don't want to use up my free credit and blah blah blah. Anyways, now we have Microsoft came out with their own 3D one, which is a step above because not only does it recreate the 3D model, but it builds the shaders, it builds the other stuff on top of it. And the models that it can do, the hardest thing with the AI 3D model stuff is you could give it a simple thing to do, like an image that wasn't complicated. And if it's one item, it can do that one item. But with this Microsoft stuff, they're advertising that it can create a 3D room. So like if you give it a picture of a room, it will do each individual asset. It will do the chair, the table, the walls, and it'll texture it all, and those will be individual models. Like that is mind-blowing. And I haven't sat down and played with it yet, because it's not as easy. It looks like it's not as easy as plug and play. Like it looks like I'm gonna have to maybe download something and do this another thing, but it's amazing, and I want to use it so then I can 3D print more stuff.
Very,
This is going
very
to be
nice.
huge for the indie game space
Oh,
because
yeah.
it will what would take an individual person 15 years to build as it relates to a game could now seemingly be done in, significantly less time, right?
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, some of the stuff they're advertising, like, so I'm on their website now, and they have examples of what people have made or scanned, and this is high quality, like, uh, um, kind of like what Epic Games would make or whatever, AAA game stuff, and that stuff takes forever.
Yeah.
Like some of these video games that these companies make, like Ubisoft and whatever, they'll have like a team of, I don't know, like 500 artists working on one game, and it'll take them like 10 years to get this kind of quality. And apparently they're advertising that this can just do it.
Well, you look at like Grand Theft Auto. There's a lot of frustration why that game has been delayed, seemingly ad nauseum, and part of that is what Katie's describing. It just takes forever to do that stuff.
It's a lot of
Very,
data.
yeah, and it's very labor intensive.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
I
So
guess it's the expectations are very high.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you spin in a 3D space, everything needs
Yeah.
to look normal, like it would if you physically spun around and looked at something in the real world.
yeah, and they're advertising that. So like I said, a lot of the other AI modeling stuff, they fake it till they make it kind of deal, where from one angle of the camera, it looks legit, but as soon as you turn it, you're like, this looks awkward and it's not a real thing. But the Microsoft one is advertising that it does bit by bit. I mean, I'm watching a 3D rotation of a airplane motor or engine, and it's breaking it down part by part. Like it's not cheating it. It looks like they did the individual fan blades, the individual wires. Like usually that's just like it'll be like a flat plane and they'll put an image on top of it so it looks like it's individual, but then when you actually look at it, it's really just a flat image.
Sure.
So
So this,
Cool.
go ahead.
I said it's very cool.
So sort of like the um, maps or the actual the visual of Google Maps when you Google Earth when you look
yeah,
from
yeah.
above and you turn it and suddenly those trees are just flat.
Exactly. So that is probably generated also with AI in a very basic form. But that's what a lot of these like take an image and turn into a 3D model AI things that people have released that I've played around with. But this one looks like legit,
Well, it's maturing slowly, slowly.
which is exciting because I stepped away from 3D because it takes so much time and effort. And people have to specialize. Like I said, people specialize in modeling, which is very technical, and they specialize in texturing, like giving it color, and then they specialize in how that color is applied because it's all this math and it's a lot. Like people that can just sit down and do it all, like blow my mind.
Nice. And talk about entertainment and gaming and stuff. Microsoft has officially confirmed development of its next generation Xbox console,
Hot dog.
currently known internally as Project Helix. While concrete details remain limited, early information suggests the company is positioning the device as a hybrid between a traditional console and a gaming PC,
Yep.
capable of running both Xbox title and PC games. The
It's got to
codename
be.
what?
I said it's got to.
The codename was revealed recently by the Xbox CEO Asha Sharma, who reaffirmed Microsoft's continued commitment to dedicated gaming hardware despite speculation that the company might shift entirely toward cloud or platform based ecosystems. According to him, Project Helix represents the next step in Xbox console strategy. So it's a big thing, huh?
Well, I mean, there's been a question, as consoles continue to become less and less appealing as the technology continues to advance. It is really hard to convince somebody to spend $600 on a console
Mm-hmm.
when you can spend. Oh, obviously, RAM prices right now have kind of blown out the market a little bit, but when you could spend 900 or 1100 on a gaming PC and get significantly better performance and spec. And so there's been a big question as to at what point does predominantly more Microsoft than Sony, who makes the PlayStation, but at what point does Microsoft just go whole hog on either cloud or PC gaming?
Yep. They
And
are.
based on what you just read, it's going to be a hybrid because they don't really have a choice.
Well, so far it's vaporware.
yeah, but I mean
So
we are at the period where they would be releasing a new console. They're in that realm right now.
And if you're flying and like to use your phone for gaming, for playing YouTube videos, whatever. United Airlines has updated its contract of carriage to require passengers to use headphones when playing audio or video on personal devices during flights. Travelers who refuse could be removed from the plane or even permanently banned from flying with the airline.
Hopefully.
United notes that it will offer customers who forget there's a free pair of wired earbuds. Don't
Oh,
worry.
good.
What?
I said good.
Yeah. Don't worry if you forget your headphones for your flight. The airline states on its website. If they are available, you can request free earbuds. You'd better hope your device still has a headphone jack.
Headphone jack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. They're not handing out adapters, lightning to audio adapters.
Yeah.
I've never understood the mindset of people that fly on airplanes or ride buses or any other
Yeah.
sort of public space that just have their audio blasting. It is, I would argue, it is the most inconsiderate form
Absolutely.
of being in public that I
I
could
was
possibly
just about to
imagine.
say they have the audacity. Like I would be so embarrassed. Just people just don't care.
They don't care.
There was a video going around. It was mislabeled a few times. One said it was United, and another said it was American Airlines, of a woman refusing to. They took her off the flight.
No, good.
The police came on and took her out, and she was screaming, It's not my problem. It's your problem." Like, of course, she was just ripe for this is what her life is like. So yeah. I remember years ago being on a local commuter flight out of Raleigh, and the woman in front of me was playing one of the handheld solitaire games
Mhm.
and had the sound on.
Oh,
So every time she pressed it, like, beep, 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 and then every time that we refresh it, go, beep, 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 it would go through the sound. I was like, and I didn't have earbuds to round it out, or headphones to round it out. And I was like, oh gosh, I really want to say something to the flight attendant. And I said, no, I'm just being not open
Not
to
nice.
it. And I wasn't, thank goodness it wasn't a real long flight, because I would have lost my mind.
All right. Now, this is something that I tried to read some about it and couldn't get any farther. As part of Epic's settlement with Google over the Play Store, Epic CEO Tim Sweeney agreed to stop criticizing Google's App Store practices until 2032 and even publicly support the revised policies. The deal also prohibits Epic from pushing for further changes to Google's platform rules. This looks like he lost. Like Epic lost. And they were talking about that he is going to be required to travel around the world and talk about the Google new whatever policy and promote it and defend it. And I'm saying, what?
Well, hold on. Is this Google or Apple?
Google.
I thought he was
It's
suing
Epic
Apple.
settlements with Google over the Play
Okay.
Store.
Gotcha.
And it's just
Well,
like,
hey, but that's part of a settlement deal. Is
Yeah.
is that? I mean, you set terms in a settlement, and if Google's going to go through the process of settling with him, and then he's going to be gallivanting across the gaming industry, crapping all over Google, they don't want that. So, I mean, he didn't have to agree to the settlement deal.
No, he didn't have to. They said that he signed his life away. That was the title, of course. That's
Yeah,
a little bit
that's
too
a little
much.
extreme.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this if I was Google, I think that's a great thing to add. I mean, I don't think I would imagine, and I haven't read it, but I would imagine it doesn't require him to gush over Google. It probably makes it clear though that he can't be, railing on them 24/7.
Yeah.
which I think would make sense if you just settled with somebody that they're not like out there actively bad mouthing you. I think that's pretty typical.
That's another way to look at it. You're right. And I did read that Google now they did away with the 30%. It started.
Yep. Okay. This was Tim Sweeney had the money and the ability to fight this probably more than well, definitely more than almost any other company. And it's going to be this will be beneficial for small and large business combined.
Hopefully.
I mean, you're talking
It
about
should
giving
be.
away
Yeah.
30% of your revenue to a company that really is doing nothing but hosting your files.
Yep.
And by the way, it's not like you have a choice for them to host your files. They have to host your files. So you're 30% and you don't get a say whether, because obviously Epic is more than capable of hosting their own CDN
Right.
to give those to display those files, but they're not obviously allowed to in the stores.
What
Yep.
about Steam? Doesn't Steam take 30%?
Steam is 30% too. Yeah, 100%.
So what are they declining?
He didn't sue Steam because they have their own thing. They have their own Epic launcher.
Yeah, but I mean, how about developers? Now they would say, "Hey, I'm going to go over there and do it."
They don't know that is the cost of being on the platform.
So that's what I'm saying. So they're not declining. There's no information if Steam is losing developers to the other
They're not
places.
losing. There's nowhere else. Where else are you going to go?
Oh,
Steam is the largest game marketplace for PC. I mean, yes, Epic has their own thing, and you know that's fine and dandy, but it doesn't hold a candle to
Steam definitely
even
has a
close.
monopoly.
Oh yeah, big time. But there's especially if you're an indie game developer and you're trying to get in front of users, because that's obviously the hardest part. And you're not on Steam, you're probably set to fail, for better or for worse.
So we're sitting here and watching and hearing about all that's going on in the Middle East. Listen to it. It's got a lot of technology side effects. Iranian state media said on Wednesday that it targeted Amazon's data center in Bahrain due to the company's support of the U.S. military. The drone strike that occurred on Sunday disrupted core cloud services and caused prolonged outages. 2 data centers in the UAE were also damaged by drone strikes. All of the facilities remained offline, according to the Amazon Web Service Health Dashboard. The attack in Bahrain was launched to identify the role of these centers in supporting the enemy's military and intelligence activities. In addition to structural damage, the data centers also experienced power disruptions and some water damage after firefighters worked to put out sparks and fire. Some popular AWS applications experience elevated error rate and degraded availability due to the incident. AWS advised cloud customers to back up their data, consider migrating their workloads to other regions, and direct traffic away from Bahrain and the UAE.
Think about how much has changed.
I mean,
Think about what you just said. That in the market global now you're going to have companies who will have their own paramilitary to protect their assets from terrorism. Oh my God.
yeah.
I think what is really cool about what Amnon just read is the last part, that relatively easily, I'm not saying it's easy,
Right.
but relatively easily, you can migrate that data from physical servers in the UAE or Bahrain, wherever, somewhere else, presumably throughout Europe, is I guess is where you'd migrate.
That's what
the
they're
fact
saying.
that that's plausible and capable in a relatively short amount of time is absolutely remarkable.
It's very interesting to see how politics and business blur and how it's just becoming, there are a lot of people out there who just never thought of this. Oh, businesses, they're just out there. They don't get affected by, they're not targeted directly by when there's a war.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But-
it translates. I mean, stuff like this, technology like this, translates even in locally, like in the States. Delta Force is using Akamai, or what was Linode, and they have a few data centers, and you can, with a push of a button, move your server to another region. So if one region is being DDoSed, you can move it to another. Nothing will, well, no, the IP may change. That's right. The IPs will change.
The IP will definitely change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can do it and move it and recover in no time. And I'm sure, I mean, it's not just Akamai, it's probably a lot of others. I'm sure Cloudflare would have the same thing. And
Yeah. Well, and
so
we're talking about obviously war.
Yeah.
But think about natural disasters too. I mean, you
Yeah,
talk
absolutely.
about hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff like that. You have the ability, and more than anything else, for large business, they've got their stuff distributed anyway in a sort of a round robin setup. So even if there is a interruption at the data center in the UAE, it will, if it's set up correctly, it will just find the next available server, which is presumably in another region.
Yep. I'm sure you know what TPMS is, right? The tire pressure monitoring system in tires.
Yes.
Car
Little
tires.
sensors that go bad
Yeah.
that cause a...
Well, Dark Reading reports that a team of researchers has determined that signals from tire pressure monitoring systems required in U.S. cars since 2007 can be used to track the presence, type, weight, and driving pattern of vehicles. The researchers report that the TPMS data, which includes unique sensor IDs, is sent in clear text without authentication.
Yes.
And this is the important part here that I saying, what the big deal? It can be intercepted 40 to 50 meters from vehicles using devices costing $100. So you can stand
That's
within.
not true.
That's what they're saying. And
Well, I wonder if these are, because you can get aftermarket sensors. Like, for example, if you drive a car, I'll give you for an example, my car, which is from 2009.
Yeah.
It has those sensors, but it does not provide any information on them. It does not tell me what the pressure is or anything like that. So I could go on Amazon and purchase aftermarket sensors that would screw onto the valve. Maybe they're talking about those.
No,
presumably.
No, but there's a lot of them that do provide. I mean, they do provide.
I get
pressure.
it, but
they
the
do
range
provide,
on that. How would the range on that be?
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm saying
what I'm
the
having
range
problem with.
50 meters. There's no way.
That range is way too big. Because not just because of that, but because I dealt with these things, and you have a tire sitting about 10 feet away from the car, and you just start, and suddenly the TPMS comes up and say, "Hey, that tire doesn't have any air in it." I mean, these things
10 feet.
10 feet. So
Yeah.
it's to say, and even if you could sit 40 to 50 meters from the vehicle using this, what kind of pattern are you going to find out? I mean, you're either going to have a fleet of cars all over the city to keep monitoring it because cars travel. You're trying to find pattern. One car sitting there cannot do anything. If a car is going to follow you, then they don't even need to use this. They know what's going on because they're behind you. I mean, it makes no sense. But it's put out there, and people are going to be worried about it. The researcher pointed out that this encrypted wireless communication makes the signals susceptible to eavesdropping and potential
Well,
tracking.
hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
You just said that it was in clear text.
Yeah.
Like 2 sentences ago. How is it encrypted now?
No, I'm sorry.
Those two things can't.
Mispronouncing. This unencrypted
Okay.
wireless communication.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Perfect.
sorry. Yeah. By any third party in proximity to the car. Guys, don't worry about it. This cannot, I mean, from a researcher who's sitting in a lab somewhere and doing this, yeah. You can even put RFID inside the sensor itself. The sensor can do all kind of things if somebody wishes to do it. But what is it going to give you? I have no earthly idea. I mean, I would like to see them putting something like the what do you call those Apple, the one that you can find.
The AirTags.
The AirTags. Build it into the sensor, so you can follow your car if it's stolen. I mean,
They just upgraded AirTags. Generation 2 is just shipping now. New features, better battery life, longer range.
Yep.
Different Bluetooth support. Bunch of things that make it. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and buy them right away, but
they're the same price.
Yeah, no, they're the same price. It's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Well, this will be good for people that don't care about the new features. You can go and hopefully get the first gen ones on deep discount.
This last trip I was on, I'm very happy with the battery boxes that I bought for the AirTags. That gives you, with the lithium, 2 lithium AA batteries, gives you 10 years of battery life. So for luggage that you're putting on a plane, it's great. If you if you want to use it in your backpack, you can still do that. And I have the regular AirTags that I have on my hand carry stuff.
Are you worried that the luggage is going to disappear and it's going to take you 10 years to find it?
Yeah. That's right. Well, it's just, I've only just recently had to change out the batteries in my first set of AirTags. I have 8 of them. And I bought a package of 4 a couple of years ago, and I've updated those batteries before we went on the last trip.
Oh.
Because the batteries were low. They would be nice if they came out with a waterproof case. But
I mean, I have a.
But I mean, the
the
AirTag itself would be natively waterproof. That's what I mean. But I don't know how they could do that with the way their cover works. So, yeah.
You can stick it in a Ziploc bag.
Ziploc bag, yeah.
All right.
There are knockoffs now that use the same ecosystem, but then they look like a credit card. It's very flat. There's no how it works. I don't know. How well it works. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I remember having a couple of these years ago before Apple came out.
Tile,
Tile was the popular one that some folks used, and those are nice. The one thing that the thing that makes the AirTag more unique, more interesting than all the other options is because it will talk to any iPhone that is on and in proximity. You have a mesh network of tracking that is available. You don't necessarily get that with all of these other devices. Some of them offer some level of feature like that, but it's not always the case.
2 times that came in handy for us. That was really cool. The first one was getting into from a 16-hour flight to Auckland, New Zealand, and waiting for our bags. And I think we checked 3 bags. 2 of them came out. Third one, so I fire up, couldn't find it. I could see it on a map of the airport making its rounds on whatever conveyor belts or luggage dollies that was going. I just go, oh, it's going past now, but it didn't come out. Oh, it's going past now, it didn't come out. Finally, it came out. And the second one was when we got off a ship recently, and we were doing our own walk off, no transfers or anything like that. And so we had a specific time that our bags would be put out, and they'd be in a special area. So we went there, and one bag was missing. And if there's a missing tag, they're supposed to put it in a special area where you can go and look for it's just for these circumstances. Well, nothing. We're talking to people. This is going on over an hour. We can't find the bag. Finally, they open up a new area of what were later bags, and my air tag I could see it was in the general vicinity, but I could not go up to it that close. But I knew it had just been brought out, and I was able to find it. But because the little tag that we put on there that said what group we were in was ripped off, but we were able to find it. So that helped us.
Yeah, it works. Charter Communications, operator of the Spectrum cable brand, has obtained Federal Communications Commission permission to buy Cox and surpass Comcast as the country's largest home internet service provider. Get ready for some price hikes with Spectrum, guys. Charter has 29.
I don't know.
I'm sure. I mean, they're spending.
I'm not sure about that. There is way too much competition out there for broadband and TV and all of these other services. The days of jacking up bills every month to nauseum is over for these guys, because you can
Hopefully.
T-Mobile's got a home internet. Verizon has a home internet. AT&T's got these are all wireless home internet providers that require them not to be in your area. Plus AT&T with their fiber, and T-Mobile's rolling out fiber now with their own stuff. So I think those days are over for them.
I had to disappoint a young man at walking through Walmart yesterday. He says, "Who's your internet provider?" And I'm like, "I don't want to talk to you." But I was nice. But I said, "Well, who's your internet provider?" I said, AT&T. "Oh, well, we could. What are they charging you a month?" And I'm like, "Who are you with?" He said, "Spectrum." I said, "Stop right there. I will not go back to Spectrum." And because even if you give me a great price to start with, I don't like the service, and they don't have fiber in my neighborhood yet. He says, "Oh, maybe we do." I said, "You don't. I know that you don't. So don't even go there." I felt bad.
When I was
Because
going,
he was a young kid. I want him to be successful, but crappy job.
When I was going through all this
crappy company,
when I was going with all that shit about AT&T in the beginning, Dr. John here in chat sent me an article about how one of the things in there was these people are not really working for Spectrum or AT&T or whatever. They're contractors.
They're agents.
And they'll tell you whatever you want to hear.
Yep.
So, yeah, the best thing is to call, if you are trying to switch, talk to the company directly. Don't go through these.
Alan.
What?
Yeah. Alan puts a comment in the chat. He says, "But will anyone besides YouTube TV offer standalone TV service without being tied to the same product?" Yeah, I mean, DirecTV has DirecTV Stream. Hulu has live TV. What's the other one?
There's a bunch of them.
There's Sling still. Yeah.
Slings. That's what I was thinking of. Sling TV. All of there are these alternatives are, and they've existed for a while. So yeah, the days of having to be tied to the provider is just it's over.
They want you to.
They don't have the leverage. They don't have the leverage.
I think it's very difficult for the FCC to navigate through this because with all the mergers, but also with the prices going up. It's like all these,
Yeah.
it's almost like collusion where they're, oh, let's all raise our prices together because then, people don't have a choice to go to a low cost provider.
Yeah. Well, fortunately they do now. I mean, now I will admit this is backup internet. This is not meant for full time. I can use it 7 days out of the month with this Verizon backup internet, but it's like $25 a month. And I think their wireless home internet from Verizon, I think
And
it's
how's the
$45
speed?
a month.
Is what?
The speed is the speed is fine. I will admit I've had it now for almost a year and I haven't used it. I haven't really used it, Spence, fortunately. I'm in a little bit of a dead zone, so my mileage is not as probably great as somebody else's, but it works. Alan says any of the equivalent of those you mentioned is not available in Canada. Well, that is
Well,
a
Alan
problem.
will have to move right to the just on the U.S. border and put up a big antenna, and he can get some service. I'm kidding, Alan.
Well, and there's something interesting happening right now with sports. Back in years past, not in years past, over the last 30 years, there were a lot of regional sports networks that popped up. For the longest time, it's called Fox Sports Carolina. Then it got sold, and now it's the Bailey's network, and FanDuel's got a whole bunch. Those are starting to evaporate because they're too expensive to operate, and especially with baseball and basketball, in local areas, those are going back on terrestrial over-the-air broadcast TV. They are like I saw the Atlanta Braves signed a massive deal with Gray Media, and they're going to have a lot of their regular season baseball games on broadcast television. And so you're starting to see even the rollback of that from what you needed to have cable for, not anymore, which is pretty cool.
John asked a question: how can Verizon offer wireless home internet in an area with weak signals? They have, and do you have an antenna outside, Nick, for Verizon?
Unfortunately, this unit does not have a antenna hookup. One of my goals this summer is to break the device apart and unhook the internal antenna and put in an external. That would solve my problem, probably. But again, I've been fortunate that I really haven't had to use it.
Well, it's kind of like a repeater amplifier. I'm not sure exactly.
You can get those. They're expensive though.
But
those are like
it is possible.
$500 or $600.
I don't know what Verizon offers directly. They may have an external antenna offer for fringe areas.
And I really haven't had to use it yet. I need to wait. I need to look at my billing period. I need to go towards the end of a month and just burn it up and use all 7 days and test it. That's one thing I really haven't had to do.
We were just looking for a way to watch the International Baseball Classic, which is happening now.
Yeah, it was on Fox broadcast last night.
Over the air?
Yeah, the U.S. Great Britain game was
cool.
on Fox.
Because we were looking,
the
only thing I could find streaming was Fubo, and you can do a 5-day trial, but their basic service is $48 a month.
It's expensive, yeah. Now, I will admit the entire WBC is not on broadcast Fox, but all of the U.S. games are. So the Great Britain.
I have to look for see what the local, because we have local TV with recast.
It'll be on Fox. Fox. It'll be Fox 50 probably.
I'll check.
So the U.S. doesn't play today. I think they play.
I think they were playing
maybe
today. They played Japan.
Yeah, they play. No, they play. They played last night. They play Mexico Monday at 8 p.m. and that is on
Something,
Fox.
Pam was looking for stuff this morning and found something about a Japan, U.S. Japan game. Maybe it was a delayed. It wasn't the actual game. It's interesting because you can
Yeah,
get
because they have-
streaming that shows they have play by play and a graphic of the screen. Like they show the baseball field as a graphic with dots on it. Which you
Yeah.
can't actually watch the game itself, but it's the closest thing to having a good radio broadcast.
Yeah.
You remember, Nick, listening to baseball games on the radio?
I still listen to baseball games on the radio. Come mid-April, I will spend most evenings listening to Yankees baseball instead of watching it.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than baseball on the radio. It is truly the theater of the mind.
When I lived in New York, I listened to the Mets games. My dad got me into it when I was young. So if I was working outside, I had that radio going. And
the Mets on, I believe they were on probably 1050.
Yep.
Back in that era of time that you're.
I remember all the old AM radio stations. Yeah. Yep.
WHN.
So
Ralph Kiner.
things are changing. Panasonic is handing over the manufacturing, marketing, and sales of its TVs to Shenzhen-based Skyworth, effectively exiting in-house TV production. So no more Panasonic TVs.
That's too bad. They were one of the last ones.
Yeah. Panasonic had good stuff.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't realize Panasonic was still in the TV game.
Around the
I haven't
world.
seen it. Like
Around
even
the
in the
world.
stores. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's popular in like the Japanese market, but if you walked into a Walmart, I don't even know if you'd see
No,
it. Panasonic.
you won't.
Is it Panasonic or Toshiba that made the hardened laptops?
The what?
That was
Panasonic,
Panasonic.
yeah. The
Those
really
things were badass. Yeah. The
Rugged
rugged
books.
books
Yeah,
is
I
what they
remember
were
that.
called. Yeah. And you can buy them used and they're still like $1,000. Like they're stupid expensive. Panasonic revolutionized. They were the first HD TV game in town. They did a lot of innovation.
I saved my money when I had a paper route and I bought a 9-inch Panasonic black and white television. And I was like first one in my group of friends who had their own television with an antenna in my bedroom. But of course, there was only New York had 11 channels, Amnon?
I don't remember.
Watching the Yankees or Mets on WOR.
Trying to watch hockey on it. That's what made me never want to. I wasn't a hockey fan until I could actually go to a game. Because to watch it on a 9-inch screen in black and white, it gave you vertigo.
Yeah.
All the camera did was just sweep back and forth. And
it
couldn't really tell the difference between the jerseys. And
it didn't come with a magnifier, a square magnifier? No.
Yeah.
All right. Social media. They're banning. I mean, age related. And Indonesia now is going to ban children under 16 from having accounts. But then you're reading about there's something new. They're talking about that computers are going to have to, through the OS, you would have limitation on kids. And Thursday, System 76 CEO Carl Rischel criticized new state laws in California, Colorado, and New York that would require operating systems to verify users' ages and expose that information to apps, arguing the rules are easy for kids to bypass and ultimately undermine privacy and freedom more than they protect minors. Can you imagine? I mean, you buy a computer and you're going to have to first tell it how old you are. So it will.
This was the controversy that we discussed about Discord last week.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the issue that has been created, and you know, a lot of these things that we're talking about, the concept is good. You're trying to protect minors.
The
online.
concept is great.
But it is damn near impossible to roll out in an effective way, and you're seeing that right now.
Yeah.
Yes, it is very intrusive. But I was young enough before all this stuff rolled out, when I was online and using these services before I was supposed to. You just put in a fake birth date and click submit, and that was it. I mean, those days are long gone at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes no sense.
I don't envy these companies. They're in a miserable position.
And to end the stories here, so we talked about it last week, but now the Pentagon has formally designated Anthropic as a supply chain risk, ordering federal agencies and defense contractors to stop using its AI tools after the company sought limits on the military use. So they are a supply chain risk. That's a shame.
Real stupid decision.
Very stupid.
Anthropic. Real stupid.
Yep. All right, it's this time.
Was it play stupid games, win stupid prizes?
Amen to that.
That's the clean way of saying it.
All right. It's this time, according to the new clock now.
It's only 9:10 here.
I know.
We're just getting started. We got another hour.
Anything else anybody wants to add?
I told you guys this privately, but I'll be probably out for the next couple of weeks. So Amnon has not fired me. I have not gone rogue.
No, I want you to do what you're doing. We want you to do what you're doing.
Well, no, but I'm letting our audience know that you didn't kick me off the show. You haven't had enough of me.
Nick's work release program has to be renewed.
Yes, exactly. I'm in heated contract negotiations with Amnon, so I'm going on strike until he can meet my demands.
A word of advice today: don't sign any contracts. Don't go buy a car today and sign for it.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, Nick is working his butt off so we can have.
No, this is not all work. Some of this is play.
Oh, okay.
We'll be up in your old neighborhood this summer, Nick, up in the area.
Where you go?
Well, Elmira, Deposit,
Oh, nice.
Binghamton.
Mm-hmm.
Town where my dad was born, called Van Etten. Yep.
Okay. The Great Northeast.
We had found out that my grandparents had no markers on their graves. We were going to go back anyway because we used to go to Aquaga Lake, but we found out that there were no markers. So my sisters and brother, we all chipped in together, and we have markers being placed on their graves.
Very good.
But yeah, it's nice to go up. It's nice to bypass the city and try to get up there, but it's driving is going to be fun.
Nothing else?
I think that's it.
That's it.
All right. Katie, do you have anything to add?
Nope.
All right.
Living the dream.
So thanks, Katie. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Spence. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Mati, Dina, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov and Yael. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. and change any same password wherever you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT in Charlotte, 107.9 FM, and it's also on YouTube. So just go to YouTube and search for the Carolina Journal News Hour and get the details. And Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m., Nick hosts the Nick Craig Show at, where else? NickCraig.com. Just go to NickCraig.com and you get all the details. Again, have a great week, and we'll be back together next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.